morning everyone, Flip from Blackpool Markets here. I hope you guys are all doing well. Just coming into the week of for us here in New Zealand, so trading coming to a to a slowdown now. So going to take you guys through the charts we'll be looking at for maybe some quick trades into this week, or even possibility some trades coming into next week. So we've got a couple to go through, so we'll dive straight into it. So the first one we're looking at is our Aussie dollar. This is on a daily time frame, so we have this strong downtrend you can see here on the weekly time frame. So what we have here at the moment is, you can see it sort of has made this just kind of a trend line we can have here that offers us a resistance area. So this could be, we made that strong bullish candle this morning, so we will see what happens. This is again a strong area of support, so we could possibly see a bounce on here coming further to the downside. Again, we also have this where this last sort of morning star was, and we can see here that it is also offering can also possibly offer a strong resistance area to help out with this trend line. But again, if we look on the weekly, we can see, on the monthly, we can see it is also coming close to this sort of a double bottom. So this is a strong, very key support area as well to keep an eye on, and just keep that in mind if you are going to trade this to the downside on this bounce over here on the daily time frame. If it does break, we also again have a very strong resistance areas coming all the way to the upside, being this over here and this section over here. So a lot of stops on the way, potential take profit areas. So these are just sort of the weekly or the monthly is sort of just a area to keep in mind if you were looking to go short. Not really a good pattern at the moment, so if we were looking to use it as a proper double bottom, we would wait for it to come close to this low that we had in February 2016, I believe, or yeah, February. And then moving on to the next one, we have Canadian Swiss franc. Yeah, so you can see here, I did draw the top trend line of this so this is again the 4-hourly chart time frame. We can see here that it has sort of formed a very nice triangle. So at the moment we're waiting for a breakout. If we look on the daily, we can see there's not really a trend direction on the weekly as well. It's sort of just consolidating sideways. So I mean, there is a strong possibility this could go either way. If it does go to the downside, we do have this support area back over here. I'll just quickly draw this for you with our shape. So you can see this will be an area to look for if you are going to take it to the downside. So a good strong key area for possible take profits. So I'll just quickly move it up here. So this around about 0.74 or 0.75. If we go to the daily, if you're looking to take it long, we've got a very nice resistance area from that high around about 0.78. So that could be a good place to take profit. You can see it also offered previous resistance areas in previous history back in January of this year, and also in September of last year, 2017. So that could be, these are some good targets to look for if you do go long. And obviously, like I said, if you go short, this could be an area as well. This could still, maybe if it does go short, we could maybe even look for a potential head and shoulders formation. So we've got our left shoulder over here, so inverse head shoulders. We've got our head over here. This is our neckline. And then if it does move down, we can look for it to hit this potential target over here for a potential bounce, and to continue to the upside to complete that head and shoulders. Again, could possibly be entering here, and if it does break this neckline right about here, we could look for another move to this high of May this year as well. So just keep that one in mind. And then moving on to our Euro US dollar. So just this morning we've had a quite strong move to the upside. So keep an eye on that. It's also a very nice double bottom. So at the moment it is moving to the upside. If you want to be a bit more safe in your trading, or a bit more conservative, you can wait for that candle to close before you take the trade. If you do take it now, just make sure you do keep your stop losses, or risk your manage very well. If you do go now, take it to the long side, keep in mind we have this very, very strong area of resistance. So just make sure if it does give a signal to turn around, then make sure to manage your risk well, or you can even use it as a potential take profit target. If it does continue further low, we can have a sort of a consolidation pattern turning up. We could look for this as possible on the weekly time frame. So this could be a good place to sort of wait for a breakout of this consolidation if you want to trade it a bit more on a higher time frame, like I said, on the weekly, for a break of that pattern. Now moving on to our Kiwi Canadian dollar. So here we have got on the daily time frame. So you can see it again also made a very nice strong move to the upside. Now we are looking for a potential area on that low we had last time into, what was that, May this year. So that is round about 0.88. So that could offer us, so we had that break of that with a very strong move to the downside. You can see it made sort of that gap after it broke right over there, a very strong bearish candle, a little bit of a retest of that zone once and twice, and this possibly a third time to continue down. Now we're sort of retracing again, so this could be again a very nice spot to take another short for a potential bounce. If it does break, look for this level over here where it offered previous resistance, so that's the 0.91 level. And then, so moving on to our Kiwi Japanese Yen. So we've got a couple of Kiwi pairs in here. So the Kiwi Japanese Yen, we have had a look at this one quite some time back in September. We were looking at this multiple top, and it did give us a very nice downtrend. So you can see we've now had this double bottom in October, and it's sort of continued, broken past this sort of double top again, and moving to the upside quite strongly. So we could use this for another potential move to the downside. If it does break, we'll look for it to go further to the upside. As you can see, it is actually a very strong level. It could sort of be a head and shoulders as well, using this as the left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder over there, and obviously our neckline over here. But if you are, just keep in mind that we are looking at this as a very strong area of resistance, so do keep that in mind. You can see it has offered previous resistance there, giving us that very nice shooting star or falling star pattern on that area. And also here you can see we've got sort of a tweezer bottom pattern over here forming. So just keep these levels in mind if you are looking to take it to the long side. So it is a very strong resistance area, so it could offer us potential moves to the downside. But if it does break, just look for all these other sort of areas to take your profits, or just to keep an eye on the market. But if it does go to the downside, we can use this neckline if it does form a head and shoulders, or if it just hits that top over there, we can use this as a very strong support area. As you can see, it's offered us in a very short period of time, since August to October, it's offered us 4 touches on that line. So it's a very strong. Usually it takes about 3 to confirm these sort of areas. But now you can see it's been 4, so this could again offer a potential move, and even create a sort of consolidation in between these 2 support and resistance areas. Now moving on to our Kiwi dollar. So this is the NZDUSD. This is a daily time frame. So this one is actually quite nice. I'll just get rid of this and sort of start from the beginning for you guys. So it's quite similar to our the previous one we looked at, I believe, the Euro US dollar. So again, it's forming this sort of a strong trend line. You can see it has broken it here, but if we connect these tops right over here, you can see it is coming very close to the area. So it has not yet closed yet, so there's no confirmation that this area is going to hold as of yet. So I'll just wait for it on the daily time frame for it to close this candle, possibly giving us a nice reversal candlestick pattern as well. We also do have this where this last tweezer top was. We do have a very strong resistance area. So if it does break past that area, you can see it's offered us a support and a resistance twice. So that could again give us a nice strong signal to the downside. If you do take it to the downside, do keep in mind these other areas for potential take profit targets. You can see here support. So I'll just draw this line here so you can have a bit of a better idea of what I'm looking at. So you can see here it's offered us support there again. So if it does break past that, we can look at this over here, this area, which is 0.64, and if we go to the weekly, you can see it again. It has sort of come close to that last pivot area. So it is also a strong area of support if it does go further down. And then now moving on to our Euro Swiss franc. So this is the last one we're looking at for the currency pairs. The US dollar Swiss franc. And you can see here again, it's come close. It has sort of broken this double bottom, this double top we had. So a lot of people could have potentially entered a trade on there. You can see here I was actually looking at sort of a triangle on the 5-minute time frame. I'll just take you back. And when it did break, so you can see I was looking there for a triangle. It did end up having a nice strong break and a retest of the zone. And it continued further downwards again on that double top area. We'll just take it back here. So this line that I drew here is from that multiple top, triple top almost. And you can see here, if we go back to the 15-minute, you can see it has, or rather the 5-minute will look a bit better. You can see it has offered a very nice area of resistance. So you can see we've had a break, sort of a retest of that zone, and a continuation of that pattern. So you can see it has continued further to the downside. But at the moment we can see it is still offering a very strong, like I said, a very strong resistance area. So it could still be traded as a multiple top. The weekly, you can see it's still just in a bit of a sideways consolidation. Again, we can see that strong resistance area was supported with that section over there as well. So possible trades to the downside for this, and this is over here. If you do take it to the downside, keep this section in mind. That could offer us a strong support area. You can see it has come close to it and sort of hindering on that section over there. If it does break further down, we can look at this section over here for a potential double bottom as well. And then obviously these two are then strong support and resistance lines, and for the longer time frame you can see we can look for consolidation as it sort of has. We can have as it sort of has done in the past. You can see it's offered strong support here, sort of support, and then again here and that over there, and the top line. So it is sort of consolidating in between sort of a resistance and support zone. So just keep that in mind if you do take the trades. But I mean, these are more for higher time frames. You can again trade these on your lower time frames. But that is it for this video. Hope you guys did like it. If you did, do give us that thumbs up. Click the subscribe button followed by the bell icon to get notifications of whenever we release new videos. So you can be the first to know of when we do that. And if you want to get in contact with us, please do so. Our details will be provided down below in the description of the video, or you can go to blackbullmarkets.com, click the little green button that says live chat, and you can have a chat with us over there if you've got any questions. If you prefer to contact us over the weekend or via email, please do so by emailing us at support@blackbullmarkets.com, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching, and from everyone here at Black Bull Markets, safe trading.